Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so I guess straight to the point. So here we are in this moment. And so I'm looking from here, seeing from here, as opposed to here. Trying to find the one that, investigating the one that resists and fears. So I'm looking for the reality behind what is the truth of that. And
If you look behind anything that you can see phenomenally, if you look behind and you find something there, it is also phenomenal. If you look at anything that is phenomenal means that something you can actually see, you can perceive. It has size or shape or texture or color or design or something like this. If you look behind, whatever you see or don't see is phenomenal. Try and pay attention to that which sees that.
yeah. Yeah,
What
so,
is it that sees that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
Yes.
it's like from the
Yeah.
perspective of this this vast awareness from here.
Yes, yes.
So from the perspective of that, I can't call it
Yes, okay.
anything but
The nameless one, you can say, okay.
portal into the infinite. It's yeah, it's
Is it searching for anything at all?
someone seeing from here, looking from here.
Someone
Somehow there's no-
looking from here
Yeah,
is also seen. The intention is seen. If there's an identity, that is also seen, without fuss. It is seen without even searching. Whatever it is you take yourself to be, it is perceived. And by saying it is perceived, look no further. Don't even look even at that, because it will soon. It is only a cloud passing also. That from where even seeing is seen. That by whose light even the act of perceiving, the function of perceiving, is also perceived. Don't imagine. If you imagine, it is already too late. Your imagining, your imagination, and what you imagine are all seen. It is not a riddle. Even if something could move at a billionth of a second, it is seen in that which is unmoving. It has no shape, no size. It is not a quality that the mind can perceive. Even the mind's attempt to perceive it is perceived in it. So the mind is a poor and inadequate instrument to try and find it, and even the one seeking to find it is perceived in it. It is not a riddle. It is more direct than a reflection. It appears to be a mystery until it is recognized. When it is recognized, it becomes the obvious. It is just what it is. And all is sourced in that. Even in their momentary here and goneness, they can only make their appearance in this. There are some beings who has a life of just a few hours. They manifest in this. They live in this. And they disappear in this. Is this dead? Is it inert? Can it be lost? And if it can be lost, whose loss would it be? Even the sense of lost and found is perceived in it. Imagination cannot take you to it. Even the mind cannot hide it unless it creates a certain identity that feels, yes, I can't see it. Even the one who says, but I can't see it, is seen by it. When one sees that which cannot be seen, that one disappears as separateness, and only this is. Is it too much for you to hear? Is it too much for you to bear? It's quicker than a reflection. It's more present than the object reflected and the reflection. And yet it has no speed. This I refer to as the self, the very womb of existence, the source of all. Pure intelligence, pure spirit, pure life, the supreme self. This is my God and my own self. He cannot be understood. If all the greatest minds in the universe of all times came together, they could not reconstruct one instant of its existence.
Yeah. Somehow there's a piece there that just can't be explained. You know?
This is true.
Can't be explained.
In the scriptures it says, this is the peace that transcends all understanding.
God,
Drown in this peace.
yeah, drown. That's only. Yeah. There's no end. I don't. Feels like there's no end to this. There can't be an end to this
Yes.
seeing or looking. It's
Yes. There's no way into it and there's no way out of it. Does it sound too mystical, too strange, too abstract?
It's not. It's. Sometimes there's tears of joy and pain I couldn't separate, wouldn't want to separate. You know, them. It's
Yeah.
compelled to be silent.
Compelled to be. What you're expressing.
Unspeakable. I can't. It's
What you're
unspeakable.
expressing is your natural devotion, your natural appreciation of that.
Whatever the deepest prayer, purest prayer would be. Whatever is false. There's a deep sense that this sense of James, the story of James, is a fabrication.
Tell us.
A fabrication, a lie. You know, it's yeah.
James is you?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, you know.
Yeah.
There is a fear somehow to get close to fear of closeness, you know, which is it's funny, you know.
You are already one.
Yeah.
Trying to get close.
Yeah. It's amazing, you know. It's
This is the mystery.
yeah.
This is the paradox. You're already inside.
Yeah.
When I told the Rumi's poem, knocking on the door, it opens. I have been knocking from inside. Is the paradox of awakening, actually.
Yeah.
We imagine we're inside, imagining we're outside. So of course we want to go in at a certain stage. The party is over, the playground is closed. I want to come home, please let me in. Then the door open, then, I'm already in. Because we imagine we're out, we need to knock. If we knock, if the door didn't open, you wouldn't know where you are. What is this door opening, you see? The recognition, you see. The recognition. The satsangs are here is the opening of the door that will allow you to feel, but I'm already here. So are we embarrassed, or it's a joke? Or we're happy or disappointed? And all that I imagine myself to be, and unworried and troubled and force and aggression and judge, all this was my dream. When I felt I was outside. Outside mean outside of the truth of myself. The tantrums of ignorance. But are you in? We can only be out by dream. We can also only be in by dream. Anybody got that second one? Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I could be dead in 6 weeks, 6 months. Nobody knows what's going to happen. You know?
That's also a
It's
dream.
perfectly.
That is also a dream.
Anything.
Yes.
I'll
Yes.
tell, yeah.
Okay. In our dynamic expression, in the theater of consciousness, yes, it is true.
Yeah. So I was,
You say you could be dead in 6 weeks. You could be dead in 6 minutes.
so I was thinking, well, it would be good to have a hug while I have the chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hope you make it before you die reaching here.
Yeah.
Because even this we can't guarantee, no?
Yeah.
Some people die going to other people's funerals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come quickly. Yeah, I'm very happy to see you. Very happy somehow to see you. I feel you speak very eloquently. You understand? No, you understand what I mean by that?
Somehow.
Because you could not put it into words.
It's,
You can't put it into words. That for me is eloquence.
I really sending in certain monks to come to Sahaja and
Yeah. Okay, I would like that.
I don't know.
Yes.
Don't know what to say really.
You don't have to.
Somehow, yeah, on the deepest level, it's unexplainable and
Yes.
it's touched.
Yes.
Not sadness or
Not
not even
sadness.
joy, but
Yes.
touched.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Inexplicable.
Mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you. What am I doing with this ice cream? I was going to ask myself a question there for a moment. Thank you.
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
I can ask for a Spanish translator.
Translation
please?
Spanish.
Thank you.
The Spaniards are coming. Okay.
Entonces, hace 3 años que espero tener este momento de poder tener un reconocimiento contigo directo.
It's been 3 years that I've been waiting to have this moment with you, to have a direct recognition.
Pido disculpas por parecer arrogante al levantarme, pero hay mucha urgencia para resolver unos aparentes nudos.
I'm sorry to stand up, but there are many things to be solved, many knots to unravel.
Put them all together, make one knot for me. Because many knots is not true. Many knots are not true. Too many things you cannot solve. Find the one thing that if you only had one thing, you could condense them to one thing, then try and tell me what this thing is.
Claro, ese es el punto. Preguntarme yo, no obstante haber recibido la gracia de haberme reconocido hace 5 años antes de conocerte.
So this is the point, is to have received the grace and recognition 5 years before I met you.
Y todo en ese momento se acabó. Cualquier aparente deuda en mi vida, cualquier conflicto en mi vida, toda la paz, la dicha más grande llegó en mi vida, y etcétera, etcétera. Como tú sabes bien de qué hablo.
So everything at that moment stopped, and all the debts that I had just vanished. And as you know, all this happened.
Entonces me pregunto por qué todavía estoy atrapado en el laberinto de la mente.
So now I wonder why I'm still trapped in the labyrinth of the mind.
Because you imagine you are. You imagine you are. We are believing what we are conceiving. If you believe you are trapped, you will feel trapped. You will believe it into existence, and it will become your experience. Then you may have to find a contrary thought to kind of counteract or neutralize the first thought. If you stay in the emptiness, you can ignore all these things because none of them can surpass the emptiness. This is the purest of truth, I can tell you. If you identify personally, you are going to have to respond personally. If you perceive universally, then all the things that come, they come and go by themselves. The self naturally heals, just like if you receive a cut, you leave it, it will start to heal by itself. But a little patience is needed sometime. I don't want to fix anything because there can be innumerable ways of looking at any particular thing. But the best of all is to stay as the pure awareness itself. When you recognize this, you will observe that life takes care of life. Otherwise, it will be up to you to do it. And yet, at the same time, while you have the sense and the strong identification of a person, you cannot help acting and reacting and doing and so on. So, and then you will need advice, then you will need support. And of course, this is also perfectly fine. Maybe I just try to go always to the point, always to the center. If you're in the center of yourself, everything becomes fine. You will see the natural harmony of this universe. If you are in your person, you cannot see the harmony of the universe because the person always wants something personally. And the universe is not here to fulfill your personal projection. It's more that you must find your natural harmony and alignment with the universal consciousness and enjoy universal pleasure. But if you want personal thing, then you have to deal with the consequences of just personal identity and personal desire and personal projection. I speak a simple thing. We find it very difficult to come out of the habit of personhood. I'm calling it a habit, not a reality. I don't blame anyone because it is the consciousness that plays this role for a while. It starts off saturated with personal identity. Then it must gradually, it must feel the impact of personhood, and then comes the aspiration to transcend personhood. But also in the stage where it is living as a person, it becomes a bit attached to person. Then the more you become attached to it, you can't see the illusoriness of personhood. It becomes a fact for you. So when the person is changing in ways that you don't want, it's hard to accept it because we feel threatened by change. That's the nature of personhood. But for the universal consciousness, change is natural. In the field of changefulness, everything changes, optionless. In the field of the pure, it is unchanging. So this unchanging absolute source is the cause of the changeful play of life that we so much know as our waking state. In fact, your life in your mind is your waking state. And the activities and interpretations of the waking state. Nobody tells the story of themselves in sleep. You don't have any account about yourself in sleep. So your life is not a 24-hour day life. Your life is like a 12 to 16-hour day life for the regular person. If your name is George, you can only be George for about 12 or 14 hours a day. Because in sleep, there's no George. And waking up, then George. Sleep, no George. So what we call our life is just the memory of the waking state and the activities of our interactions in the waking state. We call this life. It's fine, it's fine. Every stage has its importance. As you mature, the life becomes much more internally recognized. You see all of this here, but where you experience it is here. You don't experience it there, you experience it here. When your attention turns inside and is not driven always to go out through the senses, you begin to discover your internal life. The more you look at your internal life, your life becomes eternal. The life of objects, names and forms, they are always changing. It has to change. But it is weakness from the unchanging. When you recognize the unchanging, the mind initially is afraid of the sense of the unchanging. And no one can grasp the magnificence of the unchanging one. The unchanging one is not like a stone that is inert and not changing. The unchanging one is the very source of life and aliveness and energy and of all the joys and all that is contained. The quintessence of the waking state comes also from the source. When you discover yourself in harmony with the source, you are more than free. I just want to check in if this feels to you, well, there's a long way to go. Because sometimes I think, whoa, I don't get that. I have a lot more to learn. I've got so many things to put right before I can even begin to listen to what he's speaking about. I am not telling you what you're going to become. I'm showing you what you are. I'm not speaking about future. I'm talking about the timeless. Of course, I speak about time also. If you want to speak, sometimes people come and they want to clarify how they can improve situations in their family life and things like this, and they may have a word or two to share about that. Because there are many, many, many voices. Also much more experience about these things than me, about how to help the family, how to do. I only try to show you yourself. When you really recognize yourself, not in the mirror, but somehow you recognize what you are, then you don't need anyone else to solve your problems. In fact, I don't think you have any. And yet you are not in a coma somehow, extracted out of life. You're very, very much in the heart of life. And not only just in the heart of life, full of warmth and openness, and in fully conversing with life, but not attached or addicted to life. So I don't want to speak about it so that it starts to become like a kind of belief or something, because it's too much here to miss. I don't want to speak about it. It would be like, trekking, walking through the Himalayas, reading a book about trekking. I want you to be in the direct experience. You are here. It's the mind only that has trouble with this. Only mind have trouble with this. Not just mind. Let's say person. Person, ego, mind. This construct has a difficulty to accept and to see.
Realmente no creo a tus palabras.
In reality, I don't believe your words.
In reality, you don't believe my words, okay.
Más sé de tus palabras.
But I know about your words.
So you mean in reality or in the mind you don't believe my words? You say mente, no? Did you say?
En realidad sé perfectamente de lo que hablas. No creo, sé.
In actuality, I know about your words. I don't believe, I know.
I see. Very good.
Por eso estoy aquí de pie para preguntar, chequear contigo acerca de esta paradoja.
That's why I'm here standing in front of you to check with you about this paradox.
So again, tell me the paradox then. Give it to me in baby food. Make it very simple.
Sí. Entonces, primero está el punto en donde identificar la paradoja.
¿Identificas?
La paradoja.
So first there is the point where you identify the paradox.
You identify with the paradox, you say.
Entonces,
Can you repeat, Guruji? Sorry.
Yeah, because what did he say? At first you identify the paradox or with the paradox?
Identify the paradox.
Okay, good. Acha, okay.
porque hay un punto en que mi mente pretende bloquearme, sobre todo en el punto más elevado de mi reconocimiento, que ni siquiera puedo decir mi reconocimiento, es tan más allá del reconocimiento que es, no sé cómo poder poner en palabra esto.
So there is a point where my mind tries to block me in the highest point of my recognizement. I cannot even talk about my recognizement. I don't know.
Yes. I want to tell you something about this. The mind tries to block you because you become something. You see, I am trying to share with you the highest truth as I can see, because that would be the broadest understanding and the most acute understanding also. So when I say the mind tries to block you, but the mind trying to block you and the you that the mind trying to block is perceived in the awareness. Is true or not? you should be able to respond to this, what I'm speaking. You see, you say the mind tries to block me from obtaining the final understanding. But both the mind trying to block and the you who you imagine yourself to be, who is being blocked by the mind, are all imagined for me. You don't yet realize that awareness is the place to be. The mind is trying to block you from reaching the awareness you already are watching it. I'm going to say again. The mind is trying to block the idea you have of yourself, which is trying to reach pure awareness, which is being watched in pure awareness. Can it be so simple? Father? Mind is trying to block me. I'm trying to get this understanding. And just as I come, the mind goes, no. Please help me to go beyond. I said, but mind trying to block me means to block the idea I have of myself. And this idea of myself is trying to reach its idea of what it thinks the truth is, watched in the awareness which is trying to reach.
Mooji,
I was totally gone and distracted in my own awareness. I was too self-consumed in my own awareness. I lost track of the relative for a minute. Do you get it? It is like a paradox, like a mystery, like a bit of a trick, you know. When it is exposed like this, sometimes we're in shock. You say, no, it can't be like that. It can't be this simple. No. I am trying desperately to kind of, with the mind, to try and push him out the way so I can jump in the awareness that I am watching this going on. Can it be like this? Or is it, I'm making all this thing up or what? Or maybe I'm making all it up. We're all making it up. We're all making it up together. Could this be it? Could it be that I'm meditating to try and reach or to become or to something? And both the meditator and the intention of meditation is to reach that which is watching the meditator and the meditating going on. But of course, meditation in the sense that if I'm watching what it is that's coming to entice attention from the source that I am to go into the state of a person who is then going to try and reach the meditation, the goal of meditation in which all of this is happening consciously, then that meditation is good. Because if there's a play of some distractedness, if you say, yes, I kind of get it, but I don't get it, and so on, and say, well, just pay attention and see, okay? Don't be anything, and watch what is happening. Say, yes, somehow the mind is coming in, telling me that I can never do it. Who is it speaking to? Who is it speaking to? To me, I guess. Yeah? Where is awareness all this time? Yeah, awareness is where I'm trying to reach. Well, what knows you don't reach it yet? You see, this is the paradox. I think this is what one of the things that show that God has a great sense of humor. Because when we don't get it, if we don't get it, then our delusions continue, and in the deluded state we do many awful things. When you can see, and then what happens is something begins to just deconstruct. It just begins to just collapse. All this heavy garment of personhood is just slipping away from you. And what remains is what? Your bright awareness. The body doesn't have to go. The body is not on a fence. The body is very necessary for experiencing to happen. It's even necessary for the taste of self-realization. The body is necessary to have it. Because self-realization itself, is what? It is also phenomenal, actually. Because the self is eternally self-realized. It's always itself. But in its phenomenal expression, in the play of becoming a seeking self, an individual self, becoming somehow frustrated by its own individual separateness from what it's sensing to be its own source, aspiring to come back to its unity, knowing that only when it's in its harmony is it really happy, this play had to go on. Otherwise, for what reason is this manifestation? You're born, you grow up, you get married, you eat, you have a few days of fun, you get old. One day you fall asleep, don't get up. Is that the whole point? There has to be something more than this. Or in the meantime, you maybe make a few bucks or something, and marry somebody who is a good cook, and I asked somebody one time, who loves to eat, like myself also, where'd you? Because you was, I got to go and have something. I got to go and eat this. What am I going to find? I said, well, okay, you were so desperate for that food. You wanted, what happened to the food? What happened to the food and all the pleasure you had yesterday? He said, it's in the toilet, actually. Before it's, and then after it's, Mind is like that. So we have an idea inside, we have to get this thing, and if I don't get it, I won't be happy. And of course, if you don't get it, you're not happy. And then you get it, and then you're happy for a week. It's fine. I love this life also. Yeah, I love it, and suffer it also. It's all part of this dance of manifestation. No? The point is, when you are not trapped, you don't have the sense of being trapped in it. It's always the clouds passing. But you are not passing.
Entiendo todo lo que dices. Y puedo estar en la posición del segundo pájaro casi siempre.
I understand everything, and I can be in the second bird position almost all the time.
Y entonces no comprendo.
And then I don't understand.
¿Será una cuestión de tiempo?
Would
Que
it
ya
be,
no depende de mí.
would it be a question of time, that it just doesn't depend anymore on me?
I say sometimes to those people who move very close to it with me, I say sometimes to them, because I feel I can, live as though you have no rights. When you live as though you have no rights or entitlements, you see everything with a heart of gratitude. And you're not burdened. Sometimes I say to some really close, live as though you don't exist. Because sometimes somebody say, I've heard them come, thank you Mooji, for allowing me to be nobody. But not many people can say that yet. You don't have to tell anyone else that. This be your own secret. You could be the Prime Minister of a country and still say, thank you for allowing me to be nobody with you. Then everything is flowing. What needs to happen with this body, for which reason it is made, that comes to be. You recognize that this is your turn to do. Now you do, and it's all a harmony, you know. Even not always perfectly. Nothing in the world is so perfectly. Even for the awakened ones, we need a little trouble, a little trouble at least. You see. To keep some alertness in the being. Otherwise we go to sleep. Some of the people who have been somehow developed somehow a deeper understanding in spirituality, also there's a second sleep for them also. Because sometimes you get to a certain point where you're not struggling anymore with your mind. You say, I'm not struggling anymore. I have good friends, spiritually conscious friends. I think of things and they happen. Oh, wonderful. You see, I sleep well in the night. Very good. You know, wonderful things are happening now. And then what happened? You reach a kind of plateau. You're not struggling anymore. Life feels easy. When you need to travel, somehow the things come to help you to do it, you go. You don't suffer very much. Because each time as you understand you're going to another step, and each step you elevate to another step in consciousness, on every level is like a whole field where the consciousness is working in a more pure way. And you go to another level. And up here it's even more refined and more easy. The same one earth, but now a different perspective, a fresh, a more clean, a more true perspective. And higher still, yes. But don't plateau. Because there are few who, even though the things are nice, they don't settle for this. See? It's not for just nice. It's free. It must be free. And they don't go to sleep. Because nothing can compare to this. Everything else as a counterpart. Everything else as an interrelated opposite. Except pure consciousness. It cannot be compared. By whom? Who will compare it? Can this one exist outside of consciousness to compare it? So you ask now, This thing, this one thing, what more to do? And I'm saying, but even, I already answered it, no? That is still a thought that's persisting. This doubt is persisting because you still hold identity as a person, you see. Not only your consciousness also, consciousness is rising, but still the sense of person is contributing to your experiencing. A human being. The human side is the kind of the mind, and the being side is the self, like in a kind of way. And so something, a certain part, the part of us which is still personal, is one to contribute, and the side which is more pure consciousness is a little bit as to really exercise its power to not be disturbed or to be confused by the person side that wants things personally. The one side wants things universally, or it's moving universally. The other side wants to stay personally. And this duality persists. But there's another space in you that's neither one nor the other one. You follow this or not?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So this is your true place. That you can observe both polarities without identifying strictly with any of them. Let them both play, but you stay. And you see that your space is complete. When there's a movement to the right needed, somehow it will happen. When effort is needed, effort is supplied. When time to rest, you will come to know, you will understand how to read the language of the vital force. You'll see when it's somehow you're in tune with it. It's not like you're this also, You're not carrying any technique. You don't need any technique here. You don't need any maneuvering. No technique. You're empty. And so everything, you have no wasted action actually. Because there's not a separate one trying to get a separate private result out of something. Almost everything you do is for the universal consciousness and for the upliftment of everybody, without saying, I'm going to go and do that, just by the very fact of your existence. You transcend the personal influence. But while we still venerate the person and think very much the psychological mind is so important and so on, then you don't have this joy and this freedom. There will always be a duality playing inside you. Let the duality play. When Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj made a statement, he says, I leave my human nature to unfold according to its habits and destiny. I remain as I am. Can you find some relation in that statement in you? Yes. Is it becoming a bit more clear for you? That there's something that, okay, there are some tendencies. Maybe my human nature is the playing out of conditioning perhaps. But something deeper has been understood, that itself is not conditioned. I honor that. My human nature playing out is a superficial thing. It's a very small thing. Small thing. Do I have nothing to do with the dynamic play? Yes, somehow it's important also. You intuitively know that you must take care of your dynamic life. But you can best take care of that, having realized your absoluteness. But if you're trying to take care of the relative while you yourself are a relative, you don't know what we are. We have no way of fully assessing what is here. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying ignore your dynamic life. No, I don't want to say this thing. Yes, attend to what needs to be done, but don't give all of your energy just to this. Also be looking at what is watching this. What I have told you, what I've shared with you here in these few days, I don't think you need to know more actually. Others have used less than this to find the freedom. So it's not more information. It's not you need more and more. Just the quintessential understanding. What is the quintessential understanding? That you are the witness of all these things. Initially you are the interested witness. Then you become the casual witness, the passive witness. You see? Then after a while you are just self-witnessing, not witnessing the sense of other. Then you find all is just this oneness. Even the feeling of all becomes weak for you. There is just the one. Beyond the concept of one. I just have to keep checking with you because I know that this way of speaking may be a bit unusual for you to listen to it. And it may sound a bit abstract. I come from very simple background and I still consider myself a very simple person. How this understanding came, I think it came in more by grace. By the grace of God it come. So this is why I check in with you, because I can speak more a language that we all know, of the sense of myself and yourself doing this thing and all this. And this field is so diverse. This diversified field of duality is so wide. You know, we can't get to a harmony. We cannot get to a harmony because we are too diverse, you see. The human beings cannot become one through the mind. It's impossible. You cannot even become one with your wife and husband properly. How are you going to be one with the world? With too much individuality, too much ego, too much, I, me, you, this. Only here, as you come underneath, behind the facade of personhood, into the very heart of being, beyond the conceptual field, in the place of pure consciousness, you find the one who is the source of all. The one that supports all life. The one who loves everybody. If you're a person, you cannot love everybody. You'll try. But you're going to find somebody, one of your neighbors or someone, you say, okay, my God, I love everybody except this one. You cannot do it. It's not possible. It's not possible. And it need not be a goal, it's too strenuous, but if you discover this, you also discover the same one who is in the heart of everyone. And he's not personal. And we all know him also. But it may just take a little time to recognize again.
Es como si yo hago lo que está diciendo, lo pongo en práctica. Desenvolverme, observar, no crearme muchos problemas, identificaciones.
What you are saying, I put it into practice, to observe, to evolve, to not create too many problems for myself.
If you observe with detachment, no problems will arise so much. They will drop away.
Está ahí el punto. Veo mi mente que crece paralelamente con mi capacidad de conciencia, de observar. Entonces, la mente hasta aprendió el lenguaje de Mooji.
So this is the point, that I can see that my consciousness is rising, but my mind is rising at the same time. And
you see, again, you mentioned your mind because you give greater significance to it than I do. That the mind is rising, is going to heaven, and I don't mind, it's okay. I'm just here. So because of that, I don't give too much importance what my mind is doing. I'm talking, but my mind is going. Sorry. No, I don't. He can't go far without me. If I have to pay too much attention to my mind, I become his servant. Your mind is to be your servant, not your master. He makes a bad master. He doesn't even make good servant. He has to be trained, humbled. So don't put too much energy on him. You identify with it, and that's why you say about your mind that but my mind is is trying to stop me. Why you say your mind? Because you imagine you are this person your mind can stop. When you know that you are the awareness, what can mind stop? The mind itself stop. You must get this point, otherwise we can talk about this for a long, long time. You get him,
I can look.
Okay, thank you for now. Thank you. Thank you. We have someone coming today? Thank you, darling. Have you got sound in your microphone?
Hear me? There we
Now
go.
I can, okay. Very good.
Camera guys good? Yes. I wanted to say, Babaji, also, just the other day, somebody was thanking for the AV team, and
Somebody was what?
was thanking for the ones who are making the videos and helping the AV team.
Okay.
And yeah, I just want to say thank you too, because I love them so much.
Yeah.
And you said that all of the Sangha, they really just work from the joy that they found.
Yes.
And it's just so true. And it's the sweetest family, and it's been so nice to bring my sister here to meet, to be in satsang
I
together.
want to meet her, again.
I think she's a bit shy, but there she is.
Great. Okay.
And it's been amazing to see a lot of families in satsang this
Yes.
time.
Very good.
We have a little bit of rock and roll, so I hope it's okay.
Rock and roll.
Just a little bit.
I'm ready.
harmony that
is blind and wants to know, but the eyes of my heart keep guiding me home. Walking in the truth, no fear can't take me, doubt won't break me. Walking in the truth, no fear can't take me, doubt won't break me. Walking in the truth, I'm lifted higher, always guided home to you, to you. Walking in the truth, no fear can't take me, doubt won't break me. Walking in the truth, no fear can't take me, doubt won't break me. Walking in the truth, I'm lifted higher, always guided home to you, to you. One who blesses and the one I praise. May I love for all my days, resting in my true home. What joy it is to be the unknown.
You guys are always full of surprises, I tell you. It's so wonderful, so joyful. Jimi Hendrix. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's always so much joy when Mukti sings, you know. We always, thank you, very good. Okay, thank you.